chromatic, or this, maybe this. I'm bending a la Django, half step. Yeah, especially in a minor key. You just hang on it vibrato. So with that in mind, again, even though the triad last week went like this, right now I'm kind of talking about some of the other notes, the 9, and then here from the 5th degree, there's that 6th degree size out of this. Django uses quite a bit. And I was doing it triplets. That's great, but now I'm showing you how to use the triads to also get some cool color tones. So here's a root. There's the major 7. The major 7 sounds great on a major chord, it's very pretty, but it also sounds great on a minor chord too. So you get this flavor. So the major 7 is just a half step below the root. And one lick that I like to do is this. So I actually will target that note. Target tones. So again, I would say, learn to embrace the 9. That major 7, the 6. You ready for this? Let's take all of me. C, E, and this is where you have to kind of either memorize it, A, D minor, and I'll repeat that again, C, E, just going through different inversion shapes, A to D minor, and then of course, okay, yeah, I did, but just something as simple as this, really simple. E, A minor, D, D minor, G, and C. Again, going through your inversion like that, I think is very important to do through these various songs that you are working on. That's what will help you reinforce this. So you do learn these inversions, and stick to C, stick to A minor and E7, stick to those until you can get those down. Then the soloing approach, where we are focused a lot on 1, 3, 5, the triad tones, as we talked about with the songs, the melodies, and then adding in the 6th degree, and then the 7th degree. I mean, you're gonna have the whole scale, almost. We just need the 4. We're gonna go 1, 3, 5, 6, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1 flat 3, 5, 6. I'm just yelling out formulas. So again, that's more of an arpeggio approach. Then we'll, take it around through the fretboard. This approach, the triad approach, I'm just really kind of basing it off of minor swing and the influence of Django, where it's very heavily based off of the triad, even though there's a lot of other color tones. But to me, all of those color tones, and we'll demonstrate this in a second here, can be thought of as being near neighbor tones, basically, off the triad. So let's actually do this, for example, here. We're going to take a G minor chord. So G minor 6 here. If we're ready to get started on some more of these embellishments, and a couple more that I did not show on those worksheets, including a little blues hack and a chromatic triad, a chromatic embellishment here. So if you all can do this, this would be great, just G minor. And if you want to put the root on, it'd be this. But I'm just sticking to the top 3 strings right now, just for demonstration. Okay, so this is important to know that this is the root. This is the 5th. And this is the flat 3. Okay, so root, fifth, and the flat third, which is what makes it minor. Major is this, but in this case we're assuming we have a minor 6 chord. So let's talk about, this ties into the embellishment, but we're going to slow down the process a little bit. So we're going to talk about just like some color tones. So when we have the root here, we can hammer on if you want to hammer, or just go. Now we have the 9. We have this. Okay, and basically I'm showing it to you just by sliding up or taking the root and playing that note. So here's a G minor 6 chord, and you're gonna go, or Ron, you can try it. Yeah, and hang on that 9. The 9's a beautiful color. Yeah, especially in a minor key. You just hang on it vibrato. So with that in mind, again, even though the triad last week went like this, right now I'm kind of talking about some of the other notes, the 9, and then here from the 5th degree, there's that 6th degree. So the 5th degree to the 6th is also a whole step. So that's a great note to kind of get some color. 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe chromatic, or this, maybe this. Bending a la Django, a half step. Everybody give it a try. Yeah, hang on and make sure you hear those colors, the 6, the 9. Yeah, Ron's jamming out on some of these shapes now. That's going to be next. Focus on the 6. Yeah, and it really embrace that 6. Yeah, the 9. Yeah, beautiful. And similarly, here's the flat 3. If you go up a whole, this by the way is what I showed last week when I said scale tone above, chord tone above. This, that idea, G minor to A minor. That's all it is. You just visualize. It's almost sounding more modern jazz there, the 11, but I'm going to call it the 4th degree. It's a cool note. And Django uses it on Swing 48. He emphasizes that 4th degree. It's kind of a bluesy note. It's a beautiful note. It's very bluesy too. So again, when I'm talking about it, I hope you can all see it's just a simple triad shape by thinking scale tone above. We have the 9, we've got the 6, we've got the 11. I'm calling it the 11 or the 4. And then you can do it lower, an octave lower. Okay, so now, I mean, again, to me, that's very important. But there's one thing I did in there that Ron was doing as well. It's very Django-y, is to do this. Using the chromatic passing tone in between the 9 to the root, the 6 to the 5, the 4 to the 3. And yes, that is the major third in there. On a minor chord, you typically don't want to hang on that note, but it's just used as passing. Right now I'm just making a little exercise out of this. Django uses quite a bit. And I was doing it triplets. You don't have to do it fast, you just go like this. Except it's a beautiful shape, especially you're out of here. It's hard not to want to do that lick, especially as a fast triplet lick. 1, 2, 3, give it a try, Ron. Yeah. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So much fun just vamping on that, and again, knowing G minor here, knowing G minor here, knowing G minor here, or the bar chord, you go. So I'm just doing the same motif. As long as you know you're on the chord tone, I'm going. One other thing that I did while Ron was soloing is I went to a C9 chord. C9, and this is a little bit more theory talk here, shop talk, but C9 chord, as you can probably see, most of us are guitar players here, but this, it has a G minor triad in a C9 chord. So here's C7, and then you have the 9 on, and you have G minor. So this. So that's how we can use it on dominant chords, a song that I really love to jam on and solo. I'm not going to put Ron on the spot right now. Limehouse Blues.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. But anytime you have just a C9, you can be playing a blues in key of C. But again, this is kind of more strategies, I will say, kind of theory. You see C7 on the chart, but you're thinking G minor 6 or G minor triad ideas. So that's how we can start to really milk this material and apply it to other songs. Oh, of course, Avalon's a good one. So you could be thinking just G minor, C9. F. That's what I'm talking about, is that you see C7, but you play G minor ideas, okay? G minor, this triad shape. I want to just do a couple more things with this, this kind of breakdown of the triad shape, and I am just using this easy shape here with the root on top. This is a great way to get the major 7. You have to start to embrace these color tones besides just the triad notes. So, of course, the triads sound great, but now I'm showing you how to use the triads to also get some cool color tones. So here's a root. There's the major 7. The major 7 sounds great on a major chord. It's very pretty, but it also sounds great on a minor chord too. So you get this flavor. So the major 7 is just a half step below the root. And one lick that I like to do is this. So I actually will target that note. Django again used that on Swing 48. On the ending lick of it, he starts on the flat 3. But we have this. The root almost sounds kind of bland, Minor triad. You take the root and you go down a half step, but also here is the 6th degree. So you go root to the 6th. It's just kind of a chord here, but you have this. If you put the G in the bass, it's going to be called a G minor 6 with the major 7. It's really colorful, but Django used that flavor quite a bit. But now, so that's G, again, if you guys want to try this out, we have this triad, take the root, go down a half step, and that's G minor with a major 7. We lost our root though, but we're going to put it in our thumb. And then here, the 6. There's no G here, but once we do this, or have the bass player do it, then now we have the root. But check it out with C in the bass now. This. now that could be called a C9 sharp 11. Okay, again, I refer to the song Limehouse Blues. This song.
Right.
That's September song. How I would approach that is thinking that G minor. So again, I'm building some lines and licks here. I'm almost playing the scale. I'm almost playing the melodic minor. But I'm still just thinking of it as just this triad. But I'm starting to get some of those color tones, these target tones. So again, I would say, you know, learn to embrace the 9. That major 7, the 6. We ready for this? That's the flat 5. So all I'm showing you guys again is this what we did last week, this and this. You know, the neighbor tones, essentially the you know, still building on that concept, but now I'm kind of breaking it down as if we were soloing on a gig, and it's just G minor and this. Why does that sound good? It's bluesy to me, this. So if you're wondering, what is that? That's the flat 5. Ron is playing G minor 6, but I'm really emphasizing the flat 5th. We know that from the blues scales, this. You know, quote the Pink Panther theme, right? But here it is. But now I'm just kind of showing how to embrace these notes a little bit. The tension notes, you know, that you typically are like, hey, that's not a part of the triad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give that a try. Don't be afraid yet. Yeah, don't be afraid to lean on it. That's what I'm saying. Lean on it. Yeah. To where it almost sounds like it's a chord down. Yeah. Triad, I'm thinking. Really beautiful colors just on that G minor chord. Focusing on, again, I'll say the 9, the 6, the 11, the major 7, the flat 5, and the other one that I didn't call out here that I was doing was the 9 again. Now we're tackling the 9 from below the flat 3, but it's the 9. And again, it's just thinking these neighbor tones. That's what's so simple and beautiful about that. Okay, so that was again a demonstration. Then we can apply the same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. Just find your G minor triads everywhere. You might want to just stay in one position by thinking more of this bar chord, like this. So you really can visualize all of the notes. Yeah, again, this can be applied not only on G minor, but C7, okay? To me, those are the two chords that I'm especially thinking off of. G minor 6 equals what? G minor 6 equals E minor 7 flat 5. C9 has G minor 6 in there, But of course, it also has E minor 7 flat 5. Why is that important? Well, maybe you're playing a jazz standard where the first chord is E half diminished. And now it's not going to be so scary, because this kind of perplexed me during music school. It's like, I don't have enough ideas on minor 7 flat 5 chords, but I have a lot of more ideas on G minor.
Yeah.
Bluesy, Dorian, all that good stuff, and triads. But now, when you see E half dim, you think G minor. Because why? It's just G minor 6. So we can do this. And then A7. And back. Hey. And now I'm doing the hack. And we're having a lot of fun on this 2-5. This 2, 5, 2, 5. By the way, on this, when I said caravan hack, this is what I passed out and also showed you guys last time. This, the half step above trick off the triad. So it says A7 on the chart, but you're thinking A major, B flat major. But again, now I'm applying it to some standards. I was thinking sway for some reason. But again, I'm thinking G minor to the A to D minor resolve. Of course, 2-5-1. So that's, again, I'm just kind of showing you a preview of how this stuff can really help you with your concepts of soloing over standards and changes in general. Just by simplifying your thinking, you see E half dim, now you're like, oh, that's just the same as G minor 6. It's a 2, in this case, it's a 2-5, but in Gypsy jazz, you'll kind of see it more as a 4-5. 4, G minor 6, instead of a E half dim, A7 to D minor. That's a 2-5-1. So again, I'm hoping to kind of, I guess, simplify your thinking a little bit, but also give you some ideas of what to do on these movements. So, any questions on that before I go on to the major chord here? I hope you explore that and just jam, really have a jam partner or loop pedal, or go to YouTube and type in G minor 6 or something, like a 1 chord jam, or a C7 chord for that matter, before you try to tackle and apply it to these songs where it moves quite a bit, even though Avalon is a good one.